Welcome back everyone to Angela's Craft Room. Today I'm just going to be taking you through a tutorial for the gift box punch board. I just recently did the envelope punch board and a lot of you have asked for the gift box and also the gift bag. So today we'll do the gift box. I've had a couple of ladies that have purchased it, so I'll just take you through the tutorial on the gift box punch board. Now with the gift box punch board, where it's a bit different with the envelope one, you have an extended arm. Now that is because for your larger pieces of paper, depending on what size box you do make. Now it does make 15 different size gift boxes, and like the envelope punch board, it has its own scorer that fits neatly in this side here. Now it is a little bit different to the envelope punch board. So in this first row, there are your 15 box sizes that the gift box punch board will make. Also then in your next row is your paper size that you need for that particular gift box that you've decided to make. Then in your third line is a start, what we call the start line. And then we have the diagonal line, which I'll explain as we go on. Now I have pre-cut and punched a little bit because every time I punch down on my board, my camcorder seems to not like it. So hope you'll bear with me. So this table here is in inches and this table here is in centimeters. So the gift box that we're going to make today is 3 1/4 inches by 3 1/4 inches by 1 3/4 inches. And then when I go over to my paper size, it tells me I need a piece of paper the size of 8 inch by 8 inch. It tells me my start line will be large and my diagonal line will be small. Now just pretend that this is 8 inches by 8 inches, which it is, but that I haven't done anything. Now I'm just going to have to turn this around because I can't do it upside down. Okay, so this over here, these extra large, large, medium and small, they are what we call your start line. And then over here it's got small, medium, large, extra large. That is what we call your diagonal line. So they're all your scoring lines that we can use. Now along here also is our horizontal scoring line, and down here is our vertical scoring line. On every side, as with the envelope punch board, we still punch and we always score down our horizontal line and down our vertical line and down our diagonal line. So you're going to be on each side, you need to score down 3 lines. It just depends on the size of the box which line you score. Now as I said earlier, we're going to make the 3 1/4 inch by 3 1/4 inch by 1 3/4 inches. So it tells me that my start line is large and my diagonal line is small. So I always write it down on a piece of paper so that if I'm forgetting the two measurements on the start line and diagonal line, it's just right in front of me. So for the first one, we would line it up to the large start line here, right? So we just line it up to the large, and then we're going to score down that line, score down that line, score down that line, punch, and then I have to go down to the small and score down that line. Then we turn it and we line it back up to the large line up here, and we score down that line, score down that line. Don't forget to punch, and then we're going to score down the small line. And then we're going to turn it, line it back up with the large again, and then we're going to, don't forget to punch, and then we go down that line, down that line, and down your diagonal line. Then your last side, exactly the same, line it up here at the large, don't forget to punch, then we go down that line, and down your small line. So you're going to have a lot of scored lines. Then what you need to do, when you have done all the scoring, I'll just zoom in for you to have a look. You can see here I've got a little triangle. Now you'll have one of those on each side of your cardstock, and they need to be cut out. Now the way that they are cut out, if you see here on my punch board, I've got two little notches off this big button. There's two little notches there. So I need to get my triangle, so if you can, I've got a little triangle there. You might, I'm not sure if you can see it, but you have to line that up into the notches, and when you've got it bumped up against this line, these two little notches will line up with that score line going down there and the score line going down there. And you need to punch that triangle out. Okay, so I'll attempt to, and hopefully my camcorder will behave itself. So I'm just got that little triangle piece in there that I need to cut out. And then turn it. So I'm just lining up that little triangle there. It's just that little triangle there. You could even cut it out with a pair of scissors, but that defeats the purpose of having the gift box punch board. And then just one more. There we go. So then you will have two notches cut out on each side. Okay, two notches on each side. If you haven't, you've done something wrong. So also, I'll just show you, then we need to make these little slits on each corner, on each of these corners. You can see I've made a little slit, and all you do to do that is you turn your punch board round, and when you put this in, when you push this in, just make sure that you are flush up against this edge here, and you're flush up against this edge here, and then you just punch it down and it will make this little slit for you. Now you need to do that, I'll zoom back out, you need to do that on each of these corners. Okay, need to do that on each of these corners. So then we can get rid of our rubbish. and then we want to score. So using a scoring tool that they have included in the gift box punch board, we just score that down on all sides. It's a magnificent tool, these punch boards. They just make life so easy. I use the whole 3 of them all the time. Right, now where we were scoring down, now I'm upside down. Yep. Where we were scoring down here on this, up here I mean, sorry, on the diagonal line, that is what makes your corners. And so you can see once I've folded, I've got this really good score line in there. And what we need to do is really give them a good score. So I hope you can see there. But if you just bend it in, just turn it around. I like to fold mine in like that, and then it automatically will just fall for you. Hard to show you. You see that? It will just automatically fold down for you like that. So I'll just do all of them. It's a bit hard to show on camera because I'm scoring inside the box. Just one more. So you can see how I've scored these 2 and these 2. They're the little ones where you just push them inside and score them, and they are actually inside your box. Now I will only ever use tear and tape for my putting my boxes together. Because that's like that, you could even just fold it and join your slits up if you really wanted to, not using any adhesive at all, but I don't like to do that. I just think it's unfinished. So what I do is inside the box, because I like it to be finished inside the box. Sorry, just grab my scissors. Now what I do, because it's going to fold that way, that little piece inside, I'm going to put a piece of tear and tape on each one on the inside. Now you have to do it like this, because if you try putting your box together first, you will not be able to get your hands inside the box. So you need to do this first. It's a bit tricky, but this is about the hardest part about doing the box. So it's not very hard at all. So that's going to be the inside of our box. Then I need to have some tear and tape on the outside. Just work out which way I'm going to, right. And I'm going to, you can tear this tape, but I just prefer to cut it. And I just put a piece on the same side on the corners all the way round. So I've just got to do one more. I I'm going to come back later in another tutorial and show you how to decorate these using the envelope punch board. I will show you my finished ones that I did this morning. So then what we need to do is just pull off, let's grab my rubbish bin closer to me, pull off all the ones that are inside, because as you fold the outside, because you've already got your tear and tape peeled off inside, it will just automatically stick down for you. Okay, so you have to, don't put the piece of cardstock down because the tear and tape will stick to your table. I learnt that one the hard way. You have to hold it up in the air, just pull your outside pieces off. Just 2 more to go. Like that. Right, now we're going to put, I'll zoom out a little bit, now we're going to put it together. So all I do is bend and bring them up so that edge is flush, and then inside, because we've already put the tear and tape in there, you just need to press it maybe sometimes, see how that, and so all these inside, they're going to be neatly finished because they're going to just all go the same way. So I'll go to my next corner. You can see that. So it's nice and flush, and at the same time, I don't even know I'm doing it, I'm just pressing on the inside. And then just my last corner, right, and then because you've made your little slits, you just slit them in like that. A little bit fiddly sometimes. And that's your finished box. So that is 3 1/4 by 3 1/4 by 1 3/4 box, completely finished. Okay, so ones I did this morning, this is the size of the box that we just did. I'll zoom in for you. Okay, that's the box that I made this morning, and that's using one of the new colours of the in colours that is coming, that you'll be able to buy from the 1st of June. That's the Sweet Sugar Plum. And the designer series paper that I've used to make my bow is called Pop of Pink, and I've just decorated it, glued a few little gold metallic sequins from Stamping Up, and that is on a belly band, so it just slips off. So we've done our box up, and then we've put whatever we'd like inside as the gift, and then we've just slipped the belly band over the top. And then I might have to zoom out a little bit so you can see the other one I made. This is, so you can see they're 2 different size ones. This was a larger one. This is 4 inch by 4 inch by 1 3/4, and this one that's the same size bow, just on a different size box, and I've used the metal rim pearls. Now this is another one of the new in colours that I've used, which is Dapper Denim, and the designer series paper is Affectionately Yours, which will be available from the 1st of June. And one thing I must say I like about Stampin' Up, everything across the board, from cardstock, designer series paper to the ribbon, you can see here I've used Dapper Denim ribbon. It just makes creating so easy. And with their double-sided designer series paper, you always know they're going to match. I've used one side on the sides, and then I've used the other side for the bow that I've made using the envelope punch board. So I hope that helped you. I hope that you enjoy your new gift box punch board when it arrives, and I look forward to seeing you in my next tutorial.